Tony D and Little Joan, and this is a screenwriter's rant on inheritance about a woman who kind of becomes a spy, but I'm not sure what side she's on, and she has to rescue her dad by breaking into a bunch of different countries. Smash like and subscribe. Thank you for smash liking and subscribing. Check out my books. The links are in the description. Comedy horror in South Jersey. It's the Pineys. Books 1 through 16 available at Amazon.com. Don't forget, Kindle Unlimited is free. So I kind of like this because although it's from Neil Berger, director of Divergent, Limitless, and The Illusionist, I did like Limitless. It kind of sets up the protagonist as a woman who's got nothing going on in her life, and she's desperate to sort of do something. And her mother passes away, and she ends up reconnecting with her father, who brings her to, I'm not sure where, maybe India or a country near India, where she has to, first he basically tells her, oh, you're going to be part of my business. But the business seems to be trafficking in information. And then when things go wrong, he's captured, and she has to bring his kidnappers information, and she's got to steal it. So it's written by Olin Steinhauer and Neil Berger, directed by Neil Berger. I kind of like the looks of it because it's very January 24th in theaters. That's not a good sign. That is absolutely not a good sign if it's dropping in January, because January tends to be the time. There's her dad. Tends to be the time when they drop movies that they don't care about. And yeah, here's a good shot of her. So, first act, she's got nothing going on with her life, really. Her mom passes away, and she ends up reconnecting with her dad. Maybe they're estranged, maybe she didn't really know him. And he invites her to somewhere in the Middle East, I think, to be part of his business. But really, his business is trafficking information. And she kind of knows that she's basically some sort of spy. So it's kind of like Alias in that respect, except she doesn't have a bunch of kung fu powers to murder people. She's just they kind of treat her like a regular person who's just doing desperate things to survive and get over on the other factions in this movie. Now, I'm not sure what the factions are. So the second act is the father is kidnapped, and they tell her if she goes to the authorities, he's dead, and if she doesn't bring them the information they want, she is dead. Joan. Bad dog. The third act is, I assume she outmaneuvers them and saves her dad. It's possible her dad's already dead, but she ends up saving herself or saving. It's not one of these things where she's saving the world per se. I think it's more like real spycraft. It's very down, low key, and dirty kind of stuff. So I kind of like the looks of it. Not so in love with the name Inheritance. Kind of implies other things. And as you know, I'm not a huge fan of spy stuff, but this one feels very real and grounded. So, you know, at one point she sneaks into India, I guess under an assumed name, and then she has to go to South Korea, and they say, don't go to South Korea, you'll never get in. And she goes, watch me. And then I assume she gets into South Korea and does something there. So, yeah, it seems kind of interesting. I wouldn't mind watching this. Says it's going into theaters. Do we have a... Yeah, we have a synopsis. A woman finds herself at the center of an international conspiracy after learning her father was once a spy. So maybe he's still trading off of that cachet and knows some information, and that's what gets him in trouble. Yeah, so not bad. It's kind of like almost an IFC version of a spy movie. But I kind of like it because the fact that it's very sort of street level kind of spycraft. Yeah, I can get behind that. I mean, there's a scene where she's on the back of a guy's motorcycle in India, and he's cutting through alleyways and traffic and stuff, and that's how she's trying to lose her. You know, the guy's chasing her. So yeah, it doesn't look bad. The lead actress, she's not sort of, her personality's not overwhelming the screen, which I think in this case is good because it makes it feel like she's like a normal person. You know, if there is such a thing as too much charisma in a movie that's supposed to be very grounded in reality. So, for instance, Tom Cruise in a role, he's always going to be Tom Cruise. He's too big of a star to be in a movie where he kind of just blends in as an average man. It doesn't really work for him. He's too big. He's too, you know, he's got too big of a personality. Even if he wasn't that famous, he would immediately sort of dominate the screen and all the attention. For a movie like this, I think it's better. You've got an actress who, I'm not familiar with her work. She's relatively unknown, I'm guessing. And, you know, her performance is just genuine and realistic. It's not, you know, blowing up the screen. And it's not shot in such a way that that would happen. So I did like the Limitless movie. The other two, Divergent, I'm not interested in. The other one, I already forgot the name, but yeah, I would give this movie a chance. I mean, for January, could be a sleeper hit. Anyhow, that's it for me, Tony D, and Angry Little Joan for some reason. Thanks for tuning in. I'll be back tomorrow with more videos. What's coming up? Oh, right. This weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I'll be at the Triple Oaks Nursery in Franklinville, New Jersey, from 11 to 4 all 3 days for Black Friday weekend. And so I hope you come out. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you